Okay, guys, welcome to another episode of What a Gift, the podcast where we are trying to go from grasping with our claws to living in awe. I'm Jule.
And I'm Sarah.
What are we getting into today?
We have some very exciting topics today. I think they will evoke elation, maybe some, I don't know, nerves or embarrassment perhaps, but I think that they are truly our gifts in every aspect. We're getting into summer camp and talent shows. So yeah, before we do that, how are we? Let's check in. How are you?
I'm doing well. I've been on a bit of a kick lately. I feel like there's always some sort of cell phone game, embarrassingly, that I'm kind of like consumed with on the side. Famously, I had to give up Candy Crush for Lent, and I have not gone back or had a relapse. But I always have some kind of fun little pass the time game. So my latest one is, my brother turned me on to like an online Scrabble platform where you can play Scrabble whenever you want, and you can play it against the computer. And the computer's name is Zoe, and you can set it to like easy, medium, hard, or master or whatever. So I've been playing on the hard level. And it's hard to beat Zoe, but I've had a streak now of winning like a few times in a row. But I'm on a major Scrabble kick, so that's kind of been my like side fun little like zone out activity. What about awesome. You? How's life? What's new?
What is new, Jule? I'm not sure. Honestly, feeling a little tired, but ultimately I am living in the moment. I'm living in the present. Actually, to be honest, what I thought of when you talked about Scrabble was connections and the fact that I haven't played in so long because it got super hard.
I know. The New York Times games, I still faithfully do the mini crossword because I like the competition like on the leaderboard with my friends. But connections, if I don't understand it, I'll take a break for like 2 weeks. I'll be so offended.
So difficult. Like, it used to be like, I don't know, I can't even think of anything off the top of my head, but now it's like it's all the like same word with words the seven that are
elements from the periodic table, except they have another letter at the beginning. Like it's like some kind of roundabout thing. Yeah,
it's so crazy. I'm like,
I completely agree.
It's like impossible.
But my hat's off to the NYT team who has to keep coming up with puzzles. So true. They must be scraping the barrel at this point.
They are to the world. So yeah, I think that I did think of another game. I just don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it on the pod because of the name of the game. It's called it's almost like it's like a game that you can play while you play other games, and it's called Stick It In or Slip It In.
Should we start this episode over?
No, stick with it. It's called it is okay. I'm back. It is called Slip It In though. But
okay, Slip It In.
You might have to edit this.
I think we have to start over.
Okay. It's a game within a game. And
okay. A game within a game.
A game within a game. My sister's in-laws played at a family wedding they all went to. And basically it's like just a bunch of cards and you get like 5 or 6 cards.
Oh, I was picturing on your phone, but it's
no,
analog.
Sorry. Yeah, okay. It's like an actual game. And so say you have something like a wedding or you're doing like a family game night or something. Maybe it's like a extended family dinner or something. Every person would get like 5 or 6 of these cards, and each card has a saying on it or a sentence, and you're trying to slip that phrase into a conversation.
Oh, that's so fun.
And you're trying to do that without getting caught.
Very wholesome, actually.
Yeah, it's so fun. So yeah, it is a blast. It's so fun. You when you were talking about Candy Crush, it made me think of it because my brother-in-law played the long game. Like, he had to slip this phrase into a conversation, and so all day he was talking about games he played on his phone, and he would talk about like during COVID, like, didn't you guys have games like that you really got into? My sister was like, oh yeah, like I was in the Animal Crossing like revival. And he was like, oh yeah, I was playing this game. He's like, my mom though was grinding on Candy Crush every afternoon. Like she was like putting in the work, and at one point she was like top 5 Candy Crush players in the world. And we were just like, what the heck? Like it was crazy. But he had like, we talked about this throughout the day. So this was like our 6th conversation about games you play on your phone.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, he was like, yeah, it was like crazy how good she was at Candy Crush, and like how much she had played and like what level she was on, all this stuff. And we were just like, wow, this is amazing. Like, Julie's incredible. And then he, like, you wait like 7 seconds or something. And if no one calls you on it, then you win a point for the card. And so, like, a minute goes by and he's like, I just slipped that into conversation. And we were just like,
Which
what
part?
the heck? About her being top 5.
Oh, wow.
Candy Crush. So the card was basically like blank was top 5 Candy Crush players in the world.
Okay.
So it's super fun. However, you can't trust anything anyone says all day.
Okay, that's really fun, though.
I've
never heard of that. Okay.
Yeah.
Bookmarking that for later.
All right, well, let's get into our gifts.
Yeah. What are you unwrapping this week? Or am I going?
I can go first.
Okay.
You've gone first so much.
What are you unwrapping, Sarah?
I'm unwrapping the gift of talent shows.
Oh, okay. It's specific and it's fun.
It is fun.
Speak to us.
I love a talent show. Yeah, I just think it's where legends are born. It's where memories are made. At Training for Focus, there's always a talent show, but I've also started to invite people to have talent shows like in friend groups or like at parties or something.
Yeah.
I just want to see what hidden talents people have. I also think, yeah, it's just a chance to be creative. It's a chance to get out of yourself. I remember that's famously how I wanted to become your friend, is at Training for Focus.
Yeah.
We had been there for like weeks, I think, and I had never talked to you before. And at the talent show, you slayed down an Adele song. Like, it was amazing. And I just looked at you with such admiration, and I was like, I have to know this girl. She's amazing. And I think I introduced myself to you that night or the next day.
I remember
the rest is history.
Training. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was
so
just
fun.
like trying to do anything to make a name for myself because I was such a dork at summer training for it's funny because this kind of has to do with my gift, but it feels like a big summer camp, like where the missionaries come together for a few weeks and we're like taking classes and doing activities, and so and I felt like kind of on the fringes. It was my first year, and so I was like, okay, the talent show is my chance to try to get something going. And it led to our friendship, so it was
totally did. Yeah, so I'm super grateful for talent shows. I do think they're a gift to the world. I think, people really come out of their shells. They get creative. I also think that with the right amount of confidence, anything can be a talent. And for instance, I've seen someone make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich as a talent in a talent show, and I laughed pretty much the whole time.
Really?
I think it was the song choice, the animation of the stage presence, the confidence, and the fact that I too can make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow,
that's so funny.
I do have talent.
Yeah. No, I do think it is like I think now everyone's just displaying their like gifts and skills on their phone. Like, it's like, okay, I'm gonna take a quick little video and there's something low pressure about that. It's like you can cut or you can retake as often as you want or delete it, or and there is something to like, okay, live audience, it's time, like what do you got? I feel like I grew up so in my family we call them coffee houses. Like it originated with like my dad's siblings, where they just would host these evenings of like, we're gonna have the Copa Coffee House, like where people come and it's mostly like music or recitations or whatever. So like since childhood it was just a thing of like a couple times a year in my grandparents' living room, it was gonna be like a coffee house where my aunt would play the harp and someone else would recite something and people would play the piano. And like, so from like an early age I was like, okay, I want to be able to do something at the coffee house. Like I better practice piano or do something. And then now like my immediate family, like we still have a Christmas coffee house every year, like between Christmas and New Year's, and it is fun because a lot of the time a guest will come and like do something you totally weren't expecting. But and it's also just like, I think, not to be cheesy, but like I think like moments of like experiencing beauty together, like, and like actually listening to something beautiful or like hearing someone share a gift, like there is something kind of transcendent about that, of like, it's like when you go to a play or like you go hear the symphony or something, and there's something about it hanging in the air in that moment where you're just like I tapped into something like supernatural, or there's you know what I mean, like I don't know, I feel like there is something so special about that. And I like the idea of like talent shows or coffee houses, because it's like, you don't have to be a professional. Why not just play music together? Or why not hear this like thing that's inside of someone you know really well that like they can share with everybody. So
I also think it's like a bonding experience, right? It's like, you probably got when your family comes together, you think back on coffee houses of years past, you know, and so did this or saying that, and it like it creates culture almost of like or like a subculture at least of like, oh yeah, like remember the year that like these things happened in the talent show. It's like a bonding like community thing that like, oh yeah, I was there for that. That was crazy, like legendary, or iconic, electric, whatever. Yeah, it's just so fun.
It is super fun. Yeah, there was one family coffee house where I'm one of 10 kids and my dad's one of 10 kids, and there's just like it's a big brood, and also all my cousins are very like way more talented than me. So at these coffee houses I'm always like, it's fine, like I'll just hang back, like but there was one year where I feel like I got the viral moment at the coffee house where I wrote a song about how I kept it was kind of like a comedy piece about how I kept falling in love with seminarians, and my family didn't know what it was going to be about, and like it started and it seemed like it was going to be a serious song, and then like kind of hit like, I love a seminarian, and like there were gasps, you know, like, and then it kind of, it was a little bit of like a sillier song, and that was my year to go viral. But for the most part, it's one of my like child cousins at being a prodigy at the piano, and I just kind of hang in the back. And, amazing. Let them have the moment. But yeah, amazing. It's funny that we hosted this show together, because I remember a talent show like all the way in grade school when I was at camp, and another girl and I had a talk show as our talent, like, and it was called Heaven is a Wonderful Place. Is our talk show. It would be like, hello and welcome to Heaven is a Wonderful Place. And my character, the host, mine was named Gertrude Fortitude. And it was a big hit at camp when I was in 3rd grade or whatever. But it was always my dream to host a talk show, and now here I am. Wow. Gertrude Fortitude.
Alive and well.
Oh,
love that.
But that segues kind of into
your gift. Unwrap it, rip it open.
Well, we kind of I already alluded to this a little, but my gift this week is summer camp. I really think it's been a formative thing in my life, but especially something about like stepping away from your family in childhood and having to like become part of another ecosystem and the politics there and like figure out who you are. I feel like it can be a formative experience. Sure. Were you a summer camp kid?
I feel like I went to public school, so I kind of had that experience every year going to a new class. You didn't get that, but wow. I only went to camp 1 year, sadly. It was a Girl Scout camp, and I do remember fun things happening, but I also remember one of the most embarrassing moments of my life happening at that camp, which is scarring. And I will not share it today. But
I got so excited.
But I did. It was super fun. Like, I think all those things that you just said definitely happened to me on that summer. But I do think also one of the skills I took away more than anything else was I learned the bridge when you're like shuffling cards.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, it can like, you just like go, and then it like you bring it back up.
Yes. The second bringing it back up is the hardest part of the bridge.
And I learned in my cabin as girls were like French braiding each other's hair.
Yeah.
And, like, teaching each other that.
To me, that is quintessential summer camp. Like learning how to make a friendship bracelet. Yeah. Someone's braiding someone's hair, someone's borrowing their outfit, you know, like doing like a massage chain or whatever. Like, I don't know. I just remember those things so clearly. Of course, it wouldn't be me if the camps I went to were not absolutely strange and unusual. And the camp I went to for like all of childhood, starting in 1st grade, was in
you went to sleepaway camp at 1st grade?
Yes. Wow. I actually was reflecting on that recently. My parents, like, picture a 1st grader. They're small.
So small.
And my parents taking me into the mountains, like 2.5 hours away from our house.
Wow.
And leaving me in a cabin and being like, have fun at camp. Like,
wow.
I look back, I'm like, Mom and Dad, how could you? But and it was like, I was scared for like the first night.
Yeah.
But I embraced it. But yeah, it was this camp that was like, it was very, very religiously Catholic.
Okay.
And so the girls had, like, you had to wear like long jean skirts, kind of, the girls could only wear skirts except when you were doing your activities.
Okay.
And then there was like a stark line down the center of the camp of like boys and girls. Like, you really could not fraternize with the boys. So like,
okay,
this is where my boy crazy seed was born, because I like something about how forbidden it was. Like, our whole cabin every year, we were like plotting like how
do we
brush elbows with the boys. So there was like the two main ways we would brush elbows with the boys was, there was in the morning at breakfast, there was an oatmeal line that was co-ed. Like, we were divided. The dining hall was divided, boys and girls, but like it would merge in the oatmeal line in the center. Okay. And so I was suddenly like oatmeal's number one consumer. Like, we like headed to the oatmeal line, like, as we're like flipping our hair. And then the other thing was, the only other way you could really ever interact with a boy was if you had like some kind of recurring medication. Then you could go to the nurse's office in the morning, and it was like everyone was in the same line together. And I literally remember leading up to summer camp saying to my mom, like, multiple years, like, Mom, please, can you put me on Claritin or something? Like, I need to go to the nurse. Like, anyway, so that camp was a little funky, but I met like amazing friends there. Yeah. And just the feeling of like going to sleep in your bunk in the cabin, or like going outside at night and seeing all the stars, or like boating and archery and like those kind of, like, I felt like it was very even, aside from like the fact that I was doing it all in a hideous jean skirt, I did feel that it was like very quintessential classic summer camp.
Did you have like camp songs and stuff? I feel like
they were all like religious, but they were still hand motions, that kind of thing. And there was also like, if you misbehaved, the punishment was called getting docked, where like, and it came from like, oh, you can't swim, you have to sit on the dock, but you could get docked from any activity. And I definitely became a mischief maker, like, as I went there year to year. And I remember multiple times like being docked for being a little bit too rambunctious. So
dang. I remember camp, like, thinking my camp counselor was like, all those girls were like so cool, and like like the older girls leading you, I was like,
seriously, I feel like those are formative figures, like where you're like, that's the kind of girl I'm gonna be. Like, I still feel, so I have a real job, but like, I feel that the job that I am made for is camp counselor. Like, I literally feel like all my skills, the way I dress, everything, I'm just like, no, I would be at my peak performance if I was just a full-time summer camp counselor. Like, and I was a counselor at various times, but I just love, like, okay, ladies, like, like having a little troupe to lead around and do different activities and singing songs and stuff. So missed my calling there. It doesn't pay as well as you think to do that as a career.
They do like maybe I haven't seen in a few years, but I feel like there was a time, either, I don't know if it was on Pinterest or Instagram or what, but I would see like videos or like ideas of people renting summer camps for like their wedding week.
I know, I saw that
so
too.
So fun.
I feel like I can't, your guests would have to be really bought into that idea of like,
take a whole week off.
I'll be in the bunks for your wedding. Like, you would have to have the right fun guests, but I think that's such a cute idea. Yeah. And then famously, I did go to one other camp in grade school.
If you're willing,
I feel like I should share about
I think
it.
You should tell the story.
Well, I don't know if I'm gonna tell the whole story, but another I went to 1 year, the summer after 8th grade, which gifties will know, I was homeschooled. Okay, literally get out your gifty bingo boards. Every episode I have to mention being homeschooled, but and so coming up to graduating from 8th grade, I was like, okay, it's time to become cool. Like, I'm getting ready to graduate.
And you were going to,
and I'm going to real school. So like
Okay.
I had a whole plan of like, okay, this will be the summer where I get cool, you know, like, and I was like gonna save my babysitting money and buy new outfits. And I was gonna learn like what pop figures were currently on the rise, etc. And so that was my plan.
Gonna enter into the world.
Yeah, had a whole plan for that summer, and suddenly like my really good friend Kathy, shout out, reached out and she was like, hey, like my grandparents are giving me an 8th grade graduation gift. And she was like, they want to send us like to a camp for a week, like or it was a week or 2 weeks, I can't remember. And they said I could bring a friend, and like I want to bring you, and I was like,
choose you.
Yeah, and I was like, that's awesome. Like I didn't get any 8th grade graduation gifts. And she was like, okay, but here's the thing, like the camp is in a restored colonial village. And I was like, and she's like, so from what I know, like I think we have to kind of like live as pilgrims for a week. And I still was kind of like, she was one of those friends who was just like, I would do anything, you know, with her. Yeah. Like I'm sure it'll be fun. So I was like, okay, like it doesn't quite dovetail with my get cool this summer plan, but like sure, I'll bite, you know, like,
love a camp talent show.
Yeah.
So I'm in.
Yeah. So in my mind I was like, okay, like, you know, we'll be in like a quaint situation and like we'll still be doing like fun activities. Okay, cut to us rolling up to this camp in this village, and when they say restored, like they left no detail out. I literally felt like I went through a time machine. Like we're suddenly pulling up, there's like wagons and blacksmiths and so, you know, like
Yeah.
And we get there and they bring us into this like intake room, and the woman's like your name's Abigail now. And I'm like looking around like, are you talking to me?
My name is Juliana.
She's like, your name's Abigail now. And she like hands me this hanger that has this Halucious, like a purple dress, apron, and bonnet on the hanger. She's like, your father is the blacksmith. Oh. He's very important to our village. I was like, I'm sorry, did I miss something? So I had to go into this room and change, and she was like, we had to wear shoes that they would have had in colonial times.
Whoa.
I changed into this purple dress, apron, and bonnet. Kathy comes out like looking crazed. She's like, my name's Rebecca. She's like, my father is the parson. I was like, what is a parson? Is a parson? Exactly. So what follows is a week of us doing chores basically in bonnets, where we instantly got split up. I like never saw Kathy again because apparently like she was in an upper echelon in society and I was like a blacksmith's daughter, like riffraff. And so we wove baskets by hand, okay? Churned butter, we sheared a sheep, and like all these activities, and they were making it seem like it was an activity, but I would weave a basket. And I was like, wow, I can't wait to show my family this basket I wove. They would be like, and they would keep going to the gift shop. It would literally, they kept everything we made. That is crazy. So I was like, I suddenly like was looking around. I was like, we are child laborers, like because there would be tourists walking through the camp as I'm working in the carpenter shop, and they're taking my photo, and they're like, honey, look, it's a kid, like, and I'm like literally whittling something, and I'm looking at them. I'm like, help, like my name isn't Abigail, like trying to like speak to the like tourists. Yeah, I was like, I'm supposed to be getting cool this summer, like, and anyway, so it was really quite the journey, and ultimately, following my legacy of being a camp rebel, I started to feel some unrest, and I did lead a small rebellion among the campers where we had to bring in a lunch every day that was like in a tin bucket. And this really happened to me, and our producers will put photos at the end of this episode, or we'll put them on our Instagram, but like I have photos of this. So every day we had to bring a lunch that they would have in colonial times, which, spoiler alert, is an apple. Maybe like a block of cheese. Yeah. So I was getting so tired.
That you made the day before.
Literally. So I was getting so tired of having to bring these lunches. And so Kathy and I, like, we'd go home each night to her grandparents' house, and we'd be like covered in dirt. Like, we'd be like, yeah.
Her actual grandparents' house?
Yeah, the people who gave us the gift. Like,
oh.
And we'd be like, yeah, just another day in the village. And they were like, wow, it seems so immersive. Like, they thought it was great. Anyway, so we were packing our lunch for the next day, and I was like, Kathy, like, we need to take a stand. Like, so I was like, I'm packing granola bars, and Kathy was like, don't do this. Like, and I was like, and I'm bringing enough for everyone. Like, so we walk into camp the next day, my apron pockets are bulging with these chewy granola bars. And we walk into camp, I'm like, good morning, you know, like saying hi to like the people, because we had like quasi counselors who were like, one was named Martha, who was kind of the overseer of our like group of children, and they, if you stepped out of line, like they would make, because they wanted it to be authentic. So I was taking on a big risk. So we're eating lunch in the field, and Martha was kind of like, there was sort of a romance playing out with her and one of the like village men in overalls. So they're like,
probably.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're under a tree far away. So I was like, this is my moment. And I look around and I'm like, hey guys, like, I have something. And I started taking the granola bars out and sliding them across the grass. And a couple of the kids were like, we can't be party to this. Like, immediately, because like they were faithful villagers. But a couple people took the granola bars. But ultimately, I did get caught. I think the light kind of reflected off of the granola wrapper at the right moment when Martha turned her head. And I literally was sent into the far field for the whole day and had to hoe a field with a hoe. I know, gifties, I know, this sounds crazy, but that is
a survivor.
Yeah, so ultimately I came back from this camp majorly set back in my journey of trying to become cool that summer, but Kathy and I still crack up about this, and like I said, we'll post on the Insta. We have photos of me in the carpenter shop. So this really did happen. But yeah, so summer camp, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I think ultimately it was a gift. But it was not without its adversity.
Of course.
Yeah.
I had an immersive experience once, and by no means will this come anywhere close to the story that you just shared, but I will tell it. I was in middle school in California. I lived in San Diego. And there's like this giant like pirate ship that's like permanently docked out there that like you can like go tour and stuff. And anyways, I guess it's like a rite of passage to take a field trip, like an overnight field trip on this thing. And it's also an immersive thing. And I got placed like in the belly of the ship, basically, with like the lowest of the low. And
oh my gosh.
I don't think I slept more than 5 minutes that night. Like, I remember...
I mean, yeah, an overnight on a pirate ship.
Well,
it doesn't sound that
well, and when you're down
comfy.
below, like, I, like, had nothing. Like, I remember, like, laying on, like, the deck at some point somewhere.
So people had different, like, spots.
We had different jobs. Like, some people were,
so
like,
it was like
up with
a
the
full
captain.
Upstairs, downstairs, Downton Abbey. You're, like, 100%. A galley wench.
Yes! And we get, like, scraps of bread to eat for dinner, and I'm starving, and then we have to do all, like, the hard work on the ship. So we're, like, I'm on my hands and knees with a brush, like, like, scrubbing the deck.
You were literally on season 1 of Below Deck, like, the early days, like.
Yes, 100%. And I just remember, like, getting yelled at. Like, the pirates would, like, yell at us.
This was a field trip?
Yes.
Okay.
It was,
They should make, this should, 100%. That's what Below Deck should be. Like, they should make a reality show of these scenarios, because it's crazy.
100%. I think that I have selective memory of that 24 hours. And I only remember the scary parts, but it was crazy. I couldn't imagine a week of that.
I mean, they fully broke me. By the time I was done hoeing the field, I came back and Kathy was standing there. I was like, "Good evening, Rebecca." Like, I'm like covered in sweat. Like, yeah, it definitely, it was something else. But once again, our colorful lives have made us into the women we are today.
Amen.
And that is a gift.
It so is. Because, like we've said before, and like we'll say again, probably, like, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger and funnier, and you'll have a great story, right?
Yeah.
Amen. Yeah. Well, Abigail, it's been a pleasure.
Please.
Sorry, too soon. Jule, should we close this out with a segment?
Yes, okay. Definitely. What segment?
I think we should play White Elephant.
Okay, yeah.
It is our famous and
controversial
Yeah.
final segment.
Yes. Where we pull out of the jar random things, persons, places, things, random stuff. And we try to make it rapid fire, although we do feel like we have to explain ourselves. And so sometimes it's not rapid.
Right. So we just give a reaction,
Yeah.
whether we want to receive,
Yeah.
return, or regift. So,
Yes.
Sarah, let's go through some white elephant
I'm
gifts.
going to pull some out here. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. The first one. Kiss cam.
Ooh. Receive. I actually think it's really cute.
Me too.
I've never been on it, but
Me
someday.
too, thank God, because I'm usually at sporting events with like married people.
But it's so when like the kiss cam goes to someone and you can tell there's a backstory that the camera didn't know. Like there's tension and they're like both have their arms crossed, or the girl's like, there's when there's a backstory kiss cam, I think that's even better, honestly.
Totally. Or like people are like, it's my dad or something.
Right, like please don't do this. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Chelsea boots.
For men or women?
Unclear to me at this time. You decide.
Okay.
For women.
Okay, for men, I absolutely receive. For women, I feel like the like little booty is like kind of been out, like, but yeah. So I'm gonna for men receive, for women return.
Return. I have 2 pairs, the same pair in black and in brown. However, I didn't wear them all last year. I think ever since like straight leg, wide leg, like the skinny jean going out, like it doesn't.
Yeah, it was definitely
I'm not
skinny
like
jean.
on a ranch.
Yeah,
you know? So I agree. Return. Square nails.
Return.
Really?
I will not explain further.
Okay, I receive. I think they're cute. And now I know we are at odds. If you have square nails, gifties. Troll Jule. Okay, flip phones.
Okay. I want to receive this. I actually think I need to go back to T9 word flip phone era because my phone is liquefying my brain. Like smartphones are, it's a lot, I just think I'm too attached, and my flip phone days I remember fondly. So
I agree.
Maybe I'll have the courage to go back.
I think I have to. I think I like the idea of them. More power to you. The clickety clack of having to push the same button 7 times to get to a letter that you need to write.
Like, I'm sorry, Gen Z and Gen Alpha will never know the T9 word journey. Like, yeah. I kind of miss it though. It was so fun.
Okay, marshmallow on sweet potatoes.
Return.
Whoa.
I know. I feel like I'm coming out harsh on this one. Wait, do you like it?
Yeah, I love it.
Oh. I feel like my family's not like whimsical like that. Like they're kind of like
whimsical.
Just shut up and eat. We're not putting marshmallows on this. Like it's dinner time. Like I don't know. I feel like yeah. Okay. It seems like too indulgent or something. I don't know. We just never had that.
Okay, opening gifts in front of your friends at showers, birthdays, etc.
Okay, I hate attending showers.
Okay.
Because they're boring. But at my bridal shower, I had so much fun opening the gifts and like thanking people, and like it was actually like a really fun experience. So now I feel like it has made me want to receive it and be more open to not being so checked out at other people's showers.
That tracks. I think it's so awkward, along with people singing happy birthday to you.
Being sung happy birthday to is
what do you do?
Did your family have a second verse?
No.
We had like, may the dear Lord bless you. Like, and so you're like, no, not verse 2. Like,
well, then you go to camp and it's like, skip around the room, skip around the room.
Seriously, yeah, it is a humiliation ritual for sure.
Yeah. Okay, 2 more.
Okay.
Conga lines.
I feel like I am just rejecting everything, but I return wholeheartedly. I'm like, come on, you guys. Like, I love weddings, but the sight of like your random aunt like wedging her way into the conga line and it going on way longer than it needs to, I just think it's hey guys, it's the bride and groom's day, okay? Like, just dance normal. You look stupid.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I would agree with you for different reasons, though. I'm like, play a song we can actually dance to. Like, I feel like it's like the default when people don't know what to do. They're like, come on, everyone! Let's touch each other's shoulders and walk around.
It gives me severe social anxiety.
Okay, the last one, potential for controversy. The sign/kiss of peace at Mass.
Okay, I feel like we've talked about this. If there is a sign of peace at Mass, I'm team firm handshake.
Mm-hmm.
But I won't argue with a Mass that just blows by. It doesn't have a sign of peace. I just am socially awkward. But there are some Masses where, like, I will, like, feel, sometimes you, like, turn and somehow you just missed everybody and they're, like, just turning away at the moment you look at them and you're like, and you finally turn back around and you're just, like, crushed and didn't get peace to anybody. Like, but there are also some where I, like, will hit every single person and I turn back around, like, okay, full of life. So I do think it can be a good moment.
The queen of the world? Oh.
Yeah, like, connecting with thy neighbor, but it can get awkward easily.
Totally,
yeah. What do you think?
I would like to return it. I think I go to most Sunday Masses just by myself, and I'm like,
you do the, like,
I just, like, turn around and, like, everyone's, like, hugging their families and stuff, and I'm like,
well,
glad that's over. So anyways, because I'm sad and alone in life, I return.
Well,
anyways, enough about us. It has been a gift to be with you today, Jule. Thank you for sharing these vulnerable moments of your childhood. As always, gifties, thank you so much for tuning in. We love you.
Yes, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, where you can see our summer camp photos that we dig up, and make sure to rate, review, subscribe, leave us a little comment. If you ever want to be part of the conversation or give us a suggestion, you can always DM us. And yeah, this has been great. Sarah, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Sarah Ra. What about you, Jule?
I'm also on Instagram at Copacabana. The O is a 0. Okay, gifties, thanks for joining. We'll see you next time. Don't forget, life is a gift.
So receive it.